Martin tried to put me in my first dress. When he had to go on his hiatus, he tell me, Katt, when I come back, I need you.
And they cared for themselves? I can't say that this was a racial issue yet. I can't envision that white entertainers that are tantamount to the numbers and the honors and the world acknowledgement that I have. I can't envision that Sia would permit them to be abused and treated in the manner that they permitted Fox to abuse me. It seems like Feline Williams' viral Club Shay interview opened the conduits emulating the comics example. Entertainer Terrence Howard has ventured forward to uncover what to no way, shape, or form did potential open doors fall into the entertainer's lap. Rather, he needed to work his direction to the top, all due to the obstructions set up by the Hollywood tip top, as per Terrence Hollywood purportedly requested that youthful dark entertainers meet specific necessity before they give them the gaudy check, and in the event that they neglect to do so, they get kicked to the control. And assuming you're considering what Terran did in circumstances where he was approached to think twice about his qualities. Well, the entertainer ain't about cash, he favors holding fast. And as per him, that is the reason he's been boycotted from the business. That is the stuff you must watch. See, that is the reason you got to clear this stuff up. You must watch the stuff that they put out. There you know, cuz they're simply attempting to bring in cash presently. It's a well-known fact that Hollywood isn't what it seems like on a superficial level for quite a long time. Unmistakable names like Feline Williams and Dave Chappelle have pulled back the drape of fabulousness to uncover a dull custom where dark entertainers are apparently approached to wear a dress to become famous in the business. Curiously, Feline reignited the discussion during his new sit-down with Shannon Sharpe. During his meeting, the comic reviewed an episode when he vowed to do a film with Martin Lawrence. Since Lawrence asked him to, yet when Feline read the content he left why, since Martin was requesting that he wear a dress, and it was absolutely impossible that on earth that Feline planned to consent to that, regardless of whether it was his closest companion requesting that he do it. You realize we get in that office, and this blockhead take out large mother's home too. I nearly passed on, and I got to peruse the content before this multitude of good white individuals where this maintained that I should get a location with him, and I'm in a real sense saying everyone, for what reason is he in a dress again, you previously played the old woman as FBI specialist. We can play whatever. Now we might be playing a canine catcher this time. Yet here's where things get more fascinating. As per Feline, he needed to turn down $50 million agreements on various occasions during his vocation simply because he esteemed his honesty rather than the cash. Very much like Dave Chappelle, currently I've needed to turn down $50 million 4 times, multiple times, just to safeguard my trustworthiness and that virgin opening I was adjudicating you concerning. Right, as per the image painted by Feline and Dave, Hollywood is purportedly fixated on undermining people of color on the big screen for giggles, something that their white friends don't need to tolerate. And it seems like Terrence Howard concurs with their work words during a new meeting with Revolt. The entertainer dropped a few bombs saying no yet. I might want to know the capacity of men to be men and individuals to be individuals. The man has been trashed, the strength and chart actor, and blames that accompany a man are vital for offset with the new recipe. Most men are made to be feminine and not have their power or feeling of solidarity. They permit white men to have the option to be solid. Yet when it's individuals of color, it's viewed as a danger. I would rather not eliminate a couple of chromosomes to fit in somebody's story, so I feel they need to grow their accounts to permit men to be men and all the while value a ladies. And here's where the situation starts to get it interesting. Allegedly, Terran has had enough of the business's Zane principles and is tapping out in a meeting with Diversion this evening. The entertainer said, "This is the best end for me. This is the most ideal end for me. This moment, it isn't the very first opportunity," the entertainer has discussed resigning from the big screen back in 2019. Terran made a ton of heads turn by declaring that he was leaving, representing great. At the time, he said, "I've been playing Imagine everlastingly. There's compelling reason need to play Imagine any longer. I've done my time anyway." It seems like the entertainer is finished for genuine this time. He supposedly sees no spot for himself in an industry that is determined to scrutinize his qualities on the off chance that you've given your very best for keep away from a situation or a circumstance. Then evidently you are in that particular situation, since there is something possibly you or the world should gain from it. That said, the roads are recounting to an Tonight's story, as per the bits of gossip, Terrence's choice to leave Hollywood doesn't have anything to do with the ludicrous requests of those in control, or his honesty so far as that is concerned. Rather, it's all a direct result of the entertainer's supposed attitude issues. While Howard has a few awards in his possession, he's had his reasonable part of debate too. One gander at his rap sheet, and you'll be considering the way in which the person even figured out how to come to the enormous stage. One television chief told the Post it's an industry joke that he gathers more attack WS than acting honors. In the meantime, other industry sources paint a really upsetting picture. While addressing the Post, a previous partner of Howard said, "I don't think outrage issues very covers it. Terrence must be in charge of everything all when he doesn't get his direction. He loses it effectively." The source then proceeded to say once Terrence figured out that a portion of his scenes from a film were being cut and he was enraged. He walked up to the chief and began contending with him like it was some incredible shamefulness. And get this, Howard has supposedly been like this starting from the beginning of his profession some time ago. The entertainer procured himself a job on the Bill Cosby Show early in life. Of 19, a mind-blowing open door for a main beginning in the entertainer business. Yet Terrence wound up demolishing it all. He figured out that the Chiefs were intending to cut a portion of his scenes, and he supposedly lost it. Talking about the occurrence with the New York Times in 2001, Howard said, "They cut me out of the show. I was furious. I beaten on Cosby's changing area entryway." And incredibly, he addressed, "I let him know I'm a man very much like you. He could have done without it." And the projecting specialist at absolutely no point ever accepted my brings in the future. That is the shape until the end of my expert life. I express harmony with it, and I endure the side effects. To be fair, Howard dug the R said, "Since they see me as a troublemaker, I will play a miscreant anyway." Terrence could play, taken the part of the miscreant. All in all, too genuinely, his attitude issues purportedly turned into the justification for his two separations. 2. The entertainer was hitched to Lori McCamus from 1989 to 2003. They at last found their direction back to one another in 2005, just to head out in a different direction in 2007. And it was simply because Terrence had zero control over his hands or his feelings. He ultimately proceeded to wed Michelle Gent in 2010, yet the man hadn't taken in his examples. And you need to put any misinformation to rest about certain things in the report about your ex discussing you and allegations of pulsating and stuff. And there's different sides to each story. Definitely. Well, it's sad in light of the fact that there's an anecdote about somebody that got a snake that was frozen and they put it hidden from everyone else so it can heat up, and the second that it turned out to be warm, it bit them. Thus, his subsequent marriage likewise finished with a separation and a limiting request. Gracious. And it doesn't stop there with regards to treating staff individuals. Terrence has got a few significant issues. Back in 2000, the entertainer supposedly tossed hand with a mainland carrier's airline steward. Why, you ask? In light of the fact that she advised him to get back to his seat during the trip. Obviously, Howard needed to pay for carrying on by going through the night in prison, yet he in the end got out since the charges were dropped. You feel that the man would ponder his way of behaving, yet no. He resolved the issue during an appearance on the Oprah Winfrey Show in 2005 and denied the whole thing. Terrence should watch his words, since that very year he was captured for going after two outsiders at a Philadelphia restaurant.